Tennessee Titans fans, we are 1 week away as of this recording from the 2025 NFL Draft, where the Titans have the number 1 pick, and it sure looks like the quarterback of the future is on his way. But that's not who we're talking about today. Today, we are talking about rumors. Rumors about Jeffery Simmons, perhaps the Titans' most well-known player on the roster currently. Gotta be. I mean, maybe Calvin Ridley, maybe Will Levis for all the wrong reasons, but Jeffery Simmons, somebody that has loosely been attached to trade rumors for really the past year. I mean, let's be honest. During the season, as the trade deadline approached, there were people talking about the possibility of trading Jeffery Simmons. There were other moments during last offseason and even during the regular season and since the regular season ended where people have kind of mentioned, wonder if they would trade Simmons. Well, those talks have heated up over the last couple of days once again. And the primary reason why, from my perspective, is because the Titans have scheduled a lot of visits with interior defensive tackles. Got people wondering if the Titans might go defensive tackle in the second round. I think that would be a mistake. Whether you're trading Simmons or not, I would not go D-tackle in the second round just because edge rush, wide receiver, both of those positions are such glaring needs, assuming you take Cam Ward with the first pick. It just feels like you got to address one of those in the second round, right? But either way, the Titans have had a lot of visits with interior defensive tackles, and it's got people wondering, are the Titans entertaining the idea of moving on from Jeffery Simmons? Jeffery Simmons is 28 years old. Jeffery Simmons has a couple of years left on a massive contract. He is a great player. But theoretically, by the time that new stadium is built, by the time the Titans are hopefully good when they get into that new stadium, odds are Jeffery Simmons is probably not going to be a big piece of what they're doing by then. It's 2 years away. So, I mean, one would think he's not going to be around by then anyway. So, yeah, it's got people wondering. Unless you get an offer you can't refuse, I would not trade Jeffery Simmons. And here's my main reason why. I've already alluded to the fact that edge rush and wide receiver are such huge needs. Not to mention, you need more depth on the offensive line. Not to mention, you need linebacker depth. Not to mention, you need a new safety. I mean, there's a lot of holes on this Titans team. And at least Jeffery Simmons brings some much needed stability to the defensive line. And if you get rid of him, now you've got a very young Tavondre Sweat. I know they brought back Sebastian Joseph Day and Keandre Coburn, but now you're bringing in another young defensive tackle. I just think Jeffery Simmons provides some much needed stability on the defensive line. But even more than that, we're all excited about the prospect. Well, most of us are excited about the prospect of Cam Ward coming in. You need veteran leadership on this team. Okay. You need veteran leadership. You need somebody who's been there, who's loyal to the Tennessee Titans because he got drafted there many years ago. They paid him. He's got that element where he can get up in front of the room and talk and people will listen. Let's be honest, the Titans don't have too many of those guys in the locker room right now. Yes, you can hope Cam Ward becomes that, but Cam Ward's going to be a rookie. So I would think it's going to be a little while before Cam Ward earns his stripes and is able to just get in front of the room and talk. And people pay attention and listen. Jeffery Simmons has got the resume, he's got the leadership, he's got the ability, he's got, a voice that people will listen to in that locker room. And on a team that's very young with not a lot of those kind of guys, I mean, you've got Amani Hooker, who I guess would be the other longest tenured Titan. Amani strikes me as a very quiet, type of guy. I mean, Calvin Ridley is a veteran player. Tony Pollard is a veteran player. I understand that, but Jeffery Simmons is the most vocal of those players. I just think, at this point, taking the player on your team that has the most personality, who brings the most culture. I know sometimes Jeff goes overboard. I mean, he had the issue with Buck Rising last year where he nearly got in a fight with him during practice. You know, he gets a little, he's temperamental on the field. I know there were some plays last year that I'm sure he wishes he could have back, but I just think that would be risky to let one of your veteran leaders, one of your only veteran leaders go. I'm not intrigued by that idea just because you gotta have somebody that can rally the troops. We got a lot of young players. Skoronski, Latham, Traylon Burks. Who's going to listen to him based on what he's done? Roger McCreary's young. Jarvis Brownlee is young. Tavondre Sweat is young. Tyjae Spears is young. Chiga Okonkwo and Josh Wiley are both young. So at some point, you need some sort of veteran leadership, and I just think Jeffery Simmons is that guy for the Titans right now. And so unless you're able to get something unbelievable in return for him, I don't think I would be too eager to trade Jeffery Simmons. Now, with that being said, I did say if, or unless rather, unless you can get a trade offer that is out of this world. Now, if somebody calls and offers that, and I don't even know what that would be. I don't know what that trade offer would be, but if you get something that's so good, you can't refuse. If you get something that builds up your future and you're looking here and you're saying, hey, this guy's going to be gone in a couple of years anyway, this team's willing to do this, they're willing to give us this, they're willing to give us this player or this pick, then yeah, you need to listen. Absolutely. But if you're going to trade Jeffery Simmons, it better be for something good, because you need that veteran leadership and you need some stability on that defensive line and on the team and in the locker room as a whole. So it better be something good. Now, as far as do I think they will or do I think they won't, I would be surprised. I don't think the Titans are going to trade Jeffery Simmons. I think it's unlikely, but I have to admit, based on some of the reports we've been getting, all of the interior defensive linemen that they've been talking to, all of the rumors that are out there, we've seen so many times, unfortunately, with A.J. Brown, with Mike Vrabel, with Rand Carthon, a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. When there's rumors out there, when there's people talking, there's usually a reason why. And you've got people talking about the possibility of a Jeffery Simmons trade. I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire. So while I do think it's unlikely at this point, I don't think it's impossible. And I don't think it should be something that is not on Titans fans' radar at all, because it could happen. I don't think it will. And unless you get something unbelievable in trade value, I don't think it should, for all the reasons I laid out. What do you think about Big Jeff? I love Big Jeff. So talk to me in the comments. Tighten up. Bye.